What can we tell us about Shedeur Sanders and the day he had yesterday?
Shedeur Sanders is going to start the next game for the Cleveland Browns, they announced yesterday. They evaluate what they have on their roster. They have 2 first-round picks next year, and they need to know what they're doing at quarterback long-term.
Is this the right decision, Neek?
Yeah, you have to. I think with both these rookie quarterbacks, you have to find out exactly what you have. They're not first-round picks, so you're not going to be committed to them for long-term. You gave Gabriel some time. It didn't work out.
The 3 longest completions for the Browns for the entire year. He had a 66, a 52, and a 39-yard pass for a reception.
Right.
This is a season, y'all. This is his first start. He's got the 3 longest completions for the team. He obviously pushed the ball. He earned the right to go start again, which I appreciate. And again, did he beat the world? No, but he did enough to get the win. That's important.
The 66 was a screen.
Hey, count it.
Did you not count? Hey,
you see how accurate the pass was?
Stafford's 1-yard touchdowns is a throwing touchdown because he's got like 10. Don't hate on Shedeur. That's dirty.
That's Graziano channeling his inner Kevin Stefanski, who did not didn't even want to acknowledge.
You were on fire right there. You were on fire.
I mean, we all saw it. In the locker room after the game, he's thinking this guy and that guy and this guy. Rookie made his first start. Good job. And over here. I don't know what the hell is going on over there. It can't end soon enough. Go.
That was definitely awkward. For Shedeur, you look at it, and yes, every play wasn't fantastic, and it's almost crazy to say for Shedeur Sanders, hey, it was a solid game. And I think to your point, Jeff, it was a solid game. They won, and he made some plays. I think that was the big difference. The long one to Isaiah Bond, it's an all-out blitz. He moves to the right, takes care of the guy that they don't block, and throws the ball down the field. I think if you're watching him from last week, he didn't run out of the back of the pocket. He stepped up. He got the ball out on time majority of the afternoon. Were there incompletions? Was there a rookie mistake on the interception? Absolutely. But it was a good performance from Shedeur.
Positivity. Absolutely. Let that rub off on the guy to your right.
No. Listen, he took 1 sack. That was my favorite stat for the game. Like against Max Crosby and the Raiders, they can sack quarterbacks. So he looked like he belonged. I think it's a no-brainer to run him back out there.
He looked like a young developmental quarterback getting his first start. More good than bad. And this candidly should have happened a long time ago. But on we go. Staying in
period in terms of, what he can go out there and stink up the joint like what happened with him when he was thrown into the game in the 3rd quarter in his first appearance. I would tell you that you want to judge him as a quarterback in this league. I thought what we saw against the Raiders shows us that he can play in this league, although it's the Raiders, and we have to take that into account. I think he's going to be in for a real test this weekend, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he responds. I'm certainly rooting for him. I'm not going to apologize for that. I love the kid, and I want the kid to be successful. Going up against the 49ers and Robert Saleh's defense, Robert Saleh's going to have something for him. And it's going to be really interesting to see how he responds because the 49ers are not the Raiders. They are a different animal defensively. Make no mistake about that. But having said all of that, we have to remember, Shedeur Sanders, 2 for 4 on deep passes, 5 of 6 from behind the line of scrimmage, although he ended up completing 55% of his passes overall, throwing the deep ball. Also seeing, and I know RC and Woody can appreciate this, seeing Myles Garrett reaction. When he scrambled out, he picked up the blitz, scrambled out of the pocket to his right and threw the ball downfield the way that he did. And you saw Myles Garrett reaction because that's not something you've been seeing in Cleveland in quite some time. So I think those things are reasons to be positive. We should remain positive. I'm looking for him to show that he belongs in this league. That's all I care about. I don't, if he's spectacular, fine. If he's not, but he's good, fine. Don't be awful. Know what you're doing. Know what you're doing out there and show it and show your skill set. I expect him to do it, and that's what I think will happen.
There is no question that Shedeur Sanders should get the rest of the 2025 season to be the starter of the Cleveland Browns.
Absolutely.
Shedeur Sanders has to go out there and earn it each and every week. We've seen this process for Shedeur Sanders. We all lamented the fact that he ended up being a 5th-round draft pick when our evaluation said he should have been picked higher. He was 4th on the depth chart during training camp. He was 3rd on the depth chart at the beginning of the season. And I said then, if Shedeur Sanders is going to play, that means that everyone else has failed. Everyone else has failed, y'all. We know that Dillon Gabriel isn't the quarterback of the future for for the Cleveland Browns. In 6 starts, his longest pass was 26 yards. You just talked about what Shedeur Sanders was able to create by improvisation and getting outside the pocket and pushing the football down the field to Isaiah Bond. Jerry Jeudy had a fumble on another play created by Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders should get more opportunities with the first teams, more opportunities to practice, and more opportunities to show his ability to lead a football team this season. And we know that Kevin Stefanski is going to make him earn that each and every week, but this shouldn't be a short leash situation. Kevin Stefanski behind the scenes should be going to talk to Shedeur each and every day and say, right now, this is your team. This is your opportunity to show us that even with the draft capital that we have gained for the next few years, we don't need to use it on a quarterback. We need to use it to build a team around you because you are the guy that we've been looking for.
Yeah, listen, for me, earn, not given. Earn, not given for Shedeur Sanders. Listen, we know that he has the NFL traits. We've seen the arm. We saw the pass last week, against the Las Vegas Raiders, where he, got outside the pocket and made that spectacular play. I believe it was a 54-yard play down the field. Shedeur Sanders had more 30-yard plus plays in last week's game than all of the quarterbacks combined. Okay, that's played for the Cleveland Browns this year. So that just shows you what this man is able to do. But I think, if you're Shedeur Sanders, you want to continue to earn the trust of the locker room. Because as you saw on the sideline with Myles Garrett in that one play, that 54-yarder that I spoke of, though clearly his teammates see what this guy's capable of, but I think ultimately at the end of the day, you got to continue to earn the trust from the locker room. So as long as he continues to play, produce, and show not only Kevin Stefanski, but the guys in the locker room that, hey, I'm the guy that can captain this whole ship here, then to me, that's the best way moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, the trust of the locker room, how does that get built? Over time. Becoming an NFL quarterback, showing you belong, like you said, Stephen A., that comes over time. Nobody can show that in 2 games. So if I ask you, Stephen A., what specifically do you need to see from him to show he can be a long-term starter in the NFL over 6 games? It's obviously not going to be a perfect picture, but what do you think that needs to be?
Continuing to build on his performance from last week. Don't get worse, get better. Because we all know that the Cleveland Browns don't have the personnel on the offensive side of the ball to brag about or to write home about. So if you find a way to continue to elevate and grow, despite being handcuffed to some degree because your offense is bereft of the weapons necessary to really, really make some noise, then that's going to speak volumes for him. And it's going to send a message that he indeed should be that guy moving forward into the future. I completely agree with RC. I should have said it earlier. He absolutely should start every game for the rest of the season because Dylan Gabriel ain't necessary to answer. Joe Flacco is gone, all right? And not only that, you got a couple of picks in the upcoming draft where you could go after a quarterback. So since all of that is in front of you, what do you have to lose by putting Shedeur Sanders out there every week, naming him the starter for the rest of this season and making sure everybody knows this is the guy that you have to game plan against? If you're his teammates, this is the guy you have to game plan to play with. Go out there and show us what you got. Make the team his for these last 5 or 6 games for the season, and that should position you as a franchise to tell you what you need to know so you can decide what you need to do in the upcoming draft.
He needs to prove himself right. And people love to cherry pick on social media the things that Shedeur says that makes him seem arrogant or too cocky. And they aren't truly listening to the entire picture. They aren't listening to him give God all the praise post-game as he's talking about the opportunity that he had to earn and the things he had to go through in order to get there. The other thing he has to do is be an asset, not a liability. Stephen A., you laid out all the deficiencies of this Cleveland Browns offense. Shedeur Sanders can't also be one of those. The egregious losses that we saw in college, the things we saw in the last preseason game where he's trying to make a play but yet hurting his team by running backwards, taking bad sacks, throwing the football into coverage. He can't do those things. And then on the other side of that, he has to make the occasional splash play. That's all him. The thing that people get drafted in the first round to do, the thing that people become franchise quarterbacks by doing. And if he can do those, I think he puts a foothold in that backfield as the starting quarterback of this team.
We also have to remember that entering this week, according to Pro Football Focus, the Cleveland Browns are considered the third worst offensive line in the entire National Football League. So he's working against that too.
Yep.
Okay, well, you guys want to stay in the AFC North here?
Well, Mac Jones should start on Tuesday. I haven't checked their response. I don't know if Niners fans have gotten mad at me.
So Lisa Salter spoke to Brock pre-game before the Panthers game, and we asked him, like, you've been working your way back, and like, what have you learned from Mac and whatever, and Brock was extremely clipped in his answers. And in my opinion, Brock knows he's less than 100% and is getting back because he knows that Mac's playing really good football. Brock generally struggles to drive the football. He certainly cannot right now. I think that's that's a big part of not being able to push off that toe the way that he would like to. He's going to be playing in Cleveland in what is expected to be, consistent winds about 10, 15 miles per hour, potentially gusts a lot higher. There's also a chance of precipitation. And we're going against Myles Garrett, who has, since we started this podcast, another 2.5 sacks, right? Like, this line opened at 6. It is now 4. Like, I am very much Sanders wins his second career start.
I just opened it. It's 5.
I've seen. I know we've gotten to 4 at certain books this week. I don't look at the
Hey, y'all! Yeah. That Niners defense. Yes, they're playing well, but that was a lot of that was about Carolina. We talked about it this week. That to me feels like an overreaction. Oh, Robert Saleh's got these guys play. They're definitely playing really well given all the injuries. But
this game 100% is a protect the football, avoid the turnover game, right? If you are Kevin Stefanski, Tommy Rees talking to Shedeur Sanders, you're like, listen, you did a great job minimizing sacks. You threw the 1 pick, but if we can avoid negatives, we're going to run our screens to Harold Fann and our reverses to Isaiah Bond. We're going to run Quinshon Judkins. This is going to be a field position game. It's going to be a special teams game. The defense is going to let them score 10 to 13 points. Like the Browns defense is this Niners offensive line is not is like a league average, below average unit. The Browns defense is much better against the run than the Panthers is. Like, this is going to be grimy, ugly, and close. I do not trust Brock to throw his way into a lead in this game. It's going to be a 1-score game in the fourth quarter, and then it's like, hey, we need to pop 1 big play and we can win this thing. I'm very much I think I legitimately think the Browns win this game. It's because I cannot trust Brock right now.
I picked the Browns last week, and I am tempted to do it again here. I think that they will be able to attack the Niners linebackers in a way that, for some reason, the Panthers didn't, which is very frustrating and weird to watch, to be honest. You and I texted.
We texted after that game. Just one of the oddest
plan at all. Yeah.
Just, I wasn't there. I didn't get it.
I love Fannin Jr. By the way, you talked about him. I just love watching him play.
I saw a stat. I cannot recall who tweeted it. I apologize, but I saw a stat that said somebody said there's been 2 games this season in which a tight end has broken at least 5 tackles. Fannin has both of them. 3rd-round rookie out of Bowling Green, 2nd tight end on his team.
So what a ball player!
Not a high volume player. That is such a testament to the unique athlete that he is.
I have him. Not to be, I'm compare myself to Harry Roseman over here, but in my dynasty league with Tyson Danny, I took Dart and Fannin, and I have it's a crazy deep league if it's not obvious, and I because you're playing both, but I am feasting. Okay. I think I'm going to take
87% chance of rain, according to the most recent forecast.
Yeah, I'm going to take Cleveland. Come on, Brock and a ring. The best unit in this game is the same as is the Browns defense.
Myles Garrett setting the new single-season sack record in front of the home crowd while Sanders wins his 2nd start beating an NFC contender in the San Francisco 49ers. It's good for the content, Mina.
Sanders, real quick, because I saw you did write about him. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts were pretty much aligned with, because I did talk about it because we did the Thanksgiving games. Brought some actual playmaking that's been missing in this offense. The throw to Bond was beautiful. The down-to-down consistency, it has to improve. Mm-hmm. The one thing I liked was he didn't take a bunch of super sacks. That was one thing I was a little bit worried about. It was more you could definitely feel him wanting to get the ball out quickly, but some of the accuracy was up and down. But I think in terms of a development and progression, he is an accurate quarterback, and I think we will see some improvement in that regard. He's just got to avoid negative plays. The interception, very rookie moment. So just a few of those explosive plays and then otherwise being efficient will go a long way. Will be enough, I feel like, not just in this game, but in some of the other ones looking at their schedule.
Yeah, if you bring the same down success rate as Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco, which is about where he was against the Raiders, but you also create 1 explosive per game, then that can be enough for this Browns defense, right? It's a high wire act. You either hit the 55-yard throw or you don't, right? And that's like a very hard throw to hit. You'd like to have more consistency, but for a 5th-round rookie, it was about the typical sort of first-year start that you expect, right? They ended up with the win because the defense is so good. There was nice stuff to build on, rolling to his right, avoiding sacks, identifying blitz stuff at the line of scrimmage. And then there's a lot of stuff that needs to be better, right? He is like a very physically deficient quarterback. He does not have premier arm talent. He is not loose. He is not strong. He is not fast. Like, he is a below average NFL athlete. So you got to be really perfect at a lot of stuff. And that's an unrealistic expectation for any rookie in their first career start, second career start, moving forward.
It is funny because I realize, I don't know if you and I talked about this, but he has a lot of Purdy-like traits in this game. He's got it like Brock, and what he was is like, I always viewed as being like, this is what you could be if you could play with anticipation when Brock was, when he plays well. I think there's an opportunity here. The Niners defense is gettable, and I'd love to see him just, let's see that completion percentage tick up. Obviously, the numbers were spun in all kinds of directions because you have the big catch and run, but then you also have Jerry Jeudy dropping a very
Jeudy fumble, dude. You could see that thing happening in slow motion. You just see Jeremy Chin just cruising in like a shark from the sideline, man.
It was, so on one hand, it's like, it was inflated, but then it was also deflated. So
right, it was a perfect game for narratives. You could construct the most pro and the most anti-Sanders arguments you want from the